Bhante. Bhante.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good
Bhante,
evening.
Oh, good evening.
Yes.
Bhante, I saw your program for July to September. Would just like to ask, when you are back in KL, giving talks in, let's say, BGF, towards the end of August, will you be staying in BNB? Or
Yeah.
oh, you'll be staying in BNB?
Yeah.
Okay, actually, I plan to go down to this Sunday, but you will be up, I think, in Saramban already.
Saturday, I've been Saramban.
Yeah. So,
but I will
was
be
thinking,
coming back. I'll be coming back actually after the event. Yeah.
when you come back, you will be staying in BNB.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, good. Then I will
Yes.
see you when you come back in BNB. Come and
Yes.
pay
Yeah.
respect to
Please send me a
Bhante.
message on WhatsApp. Yeah.
Yes,
So you can plan.
yes. Thank you.
Not a problem. All right. It's 6 p.m. from Malaysian time. So we're going to be starting from this moment. Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon and good morning to those who might be joining from other parts of the world. So welcome back to our online Pali reading class, day 7. And I hope that you've been doing your homework, I would say, before you come down here, because it's not just a teacher's thing or maybe just a matter of class. And you really need, I would say, some self-practice, self-study too. Let's say if we take 30 minutes of pronunciation, you won't be able to, properly pronounce just because you're spending 30 minutes. So it's a practice, a consistent practice that you need to do, right? So keeping that in mind, I hope that you're going to be continuing your, I would say, reading and then pronunciation. But I hope that this will be a good time for all of you to sort of deepen and then get more familiar with the Pali. All right, so let's pay homage to the Buddha and then we'll go to the pronunciation part. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. All right, so yeah, so we have left up somewhere in the beginning of the Maṅgala Sutta. And you know that our first part is the pronunciation, right? Reading part. So we'll get to that point. All right. Somebody is asking me, a newcomer actually, asking me the Zoom link. So I gotta send it now. In case you're not going to drop anybody. Right. All right. So Lesson 7, July 30, Maṅgala Sutta. I think I repeatedly informed you this 8, 9 doesn't mean that these are Maṅgala factors actually, right? These are just sections that we read. Huh? Maṅgala factors go differently. All right, don't look at this side. These are some explanations that I will be coming at later. Okay. All right, so let me read for you just to get a little bit familiar. Maṅgala Sutta. So before that, Khuddaka Patha. You see the H. Say this H. Yeah. Khuddaka Patha 7. Maṅgala Sutta. Bahu Satchancha Sippancha Vinayo Cha Susikkito Subha Sita Cha Ya Vacha Etang Maṅgala Muttama. One more time. Bahu Satchancha Sippancha Vinayo Cha Susikkito Subha Sita Cha Ya Vacha Etang Maṅgala Muttama. And then the next one. Okay, we'll first finish the first one. So I would ask the group 1, somebody from group 1, please. Yeah, you have a chance to read these 4 lines.
Bhante, any?
Yeah,
Group one?
any? Let's go ahead.
Okay. Bahu Sachancha Sippancha Vinayocha Susikkito Subhasitacha Yavacha Etang Mangalamuttamang.
Okay, can you try reading again this part? The first line?
Bahu Sachancha Sippancha.
Okay, good. So normally some people read like Bahu Deva Manusacha, like in the first one. Bahu. All right.
Bahu.
Yeah, great. Annie. Somebody from
Second.
group 2. Yeah, group 2.
Bhante, this is in the aula. I'll read it.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Bahu Satchangcha Sippangcha Vinayo cha Susikkito Subhasita cha Ya Vacha Etang Maṅgala Muttamang.
All right. Yeah, nothing to be concerned of. Group 3.
Thank you.
Yeah, group 3.
Okay, Bhante, I try. Cow here.
So, what's your name?
Cow. K-O-W.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
Right. Bahu Satchancha Sippancha Vinayo Cha Susikkito Subha Sita Chaya Vacha Etang Maṅgala Muttamang.
Great. Group 4.
Bhante, can I try on here?
Okay.
Bahu Sachancha Sippancha Vinayocha Susikkito Subhasita Cha Yava Vacha Etang Maṅgala Muttamang.
Great. So every time you see H, like I would say here, Kito, right? Or Subha. So I think you know what you should do, right? You need to emphasize. You need to stress a little bit of that letter, but not in a strange way, yeah? Like Susikkito, like that. Susikkito, in a very gentle way. Susikkito. Showing that you understand that there is an aspect, right? This is what we're gonna do. All right, so group 5.
Bhante, puedo here? I try.
Okay.
Bahu sachancha sipancha vinayocha susikhito supasita chaya vacha etang Maṅgala muttamang.
Okay, can you read the third line here?
Subhasita.
There's a little issue. I wouldn't say issue, kind of a concern. Not subhasita, subhasita.
Subhasita.
Subha.
Subha.
Well, it's not like Subhanjaya, huh? Subhasita.
Subha.
Yeah, so there's a, what do you call, an aspirate.
Yeah.
Like in here. All right. Vinayocha susikhito subhasita chayava. Because if you do not stress that H part, then that will say a different meaning. Subha, because bha means talk, right? Bhasati means to talk. Subhasita yavacha. Can you try again?
Okay, Bhante. Subhasita yavacha.
Vacha. Great. I hope that you will do some your own reading pronunciation thing, because it sometimes we get complicated by looking at this kind of a Pali word without knowing that the H has to be emphasized, stress. H. All right. So somebody from group 6.
Can I, Bhante?
Preeti, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bahu sachancha sipancha vinayocha sukhito
Mhm.
subhasita yavacha etang Maṅgala muttamang.
Okay, so there are little concerns, always small concerns. Huh? Can you try again slowly? First line, second line.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Bahu sachancha.
Bahu. Not bahu.
Sorry, bahu. Yeah.
Bahu.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Bahu sachancha sipancha vinayocha sukhinto.
There's a small issue too. Not sukhinto. Susikheto. See here? Susikheto.
Susikhito.
Now here, this part, so sik, there's no emphasis, but after that, ki. Susikhito. Susikhito.
Susikhito.
Susikhito. Emphasis has to come after sik. Susikhito. Vinayocha. Yeah, Vinayocha. Can you try?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Vinayocha.
Vinayocha susikhito.
Great. You got it. And then please continue. Third line.
Subhasita.
Again, not Subhasita. 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 That way will make you easy. Subhasita.
Yavacha.
Yeah.
Etang Maṅgala muttamang.
Yeah, the rest is fine. Only the second and third,
Yeah.
lines. Yeah, not a problem.
Right.
Thank you. Somebody from group 7.
Bhante, may I try?
Can you identify yourself?
Shirley.
Sorry?
Shirley.
All right. Okay.
Bahu sachancha sipancha vinayocha susikhito subhasita chayavacha etang Maṅgala muttamang.
Then again, the issues are with the stress part, H part, right? Can you try again one more time, slowly?
Bahu sachancha.
Bahu. Had to lengthen, not bahu. Bahu.
Bahu.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bahu sachancha sipancha vinayocha susikhito.
Susikhito. Susikhito.
Susikito.
Kito. Yes.
Kito.
Mhm.
Subha.
Subhasita. Not
Subha.
Subha. Not Subha. Like not like normal BH. Subhasita.
Subha.
Mhm.
Subha
Sita.
Sita. Cha Yawa Cha. Etang Maṅgala Uttama.
Yeah, great.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bhante.
Shirley. Somebody from group 8. Group 8.
Hey, can I try?
Can you identify yourself?
Chiu, Christine Chiu.
All right.
Bahu Sachanya Cha, Sipanya Cha, Vinayo Tsu, Susikito,
Mhm.
Subhasita Tsu, Ya Wacha, Etang Maṅgala Muttamang.
Can you read the first line again?
Bahu Sachanya Cha,
Satchancha. Not
Sachan,
Satchanyacha. Bahu Satchancha. Not Satchanyacha. You know, there's no A
there's
here.
not,
No A here. See?
but this
Bahu.
near. Near, the N is near, is it? Is a sound near. No, near.
Yes. Yes.
Near. The N is near sound.
Near, but
Bahu,
there's no A. There's
near.
no A to that near sound. Satchancha. Otherwise, Satchanyacha. You get what I mean?
Okay.
There's no A
Yeah.
attached to that nasal. Can you try one more time?
Bahu Sachancha.
Great.
Sipancha.
Great. Great.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else who would like to read?
Bhante, can I try? Can I
please,
try Chan here?
Okay.
Chan, that's why
Yes.
Chan. Okay. Bahu Sachang Che, Sipan Che, Vinayo Che, Susi Kito, Subhasita Che, Ya Wache, Etam Maṅgala Muttamang.
Great.
Thank
So
you.
always make sure that you pronounce each letter properly. If it is a long vowel, you have to make it long. If it is a short vowel, it is short. If there is a nasal, it should be a nasal. If there's an aspirate, how will we see an aspirate? How do we understand an aspirate? By looking at the letter. What letter will make us the aspirate? H.
Let H.
H means aspirate, right? And the other thing is that in the chanting, sometimes the chanting style has gone to a way that we don't understand the particular word. Now, Maṅgala Sutta is just fine, but when it comes to Ratana Sutta and Metta Sutta, I think chanting styles have sometimes what you call in a way made us unclear how to understand particular word. Now here anybody chants like quite with the particular word, right? All right, anybody else?
Bhante, can I try Gui Hua here?
Yes, please.
Bahu Sachan, sorry. Bahu Sachancha Sipancha.
Bahu, not Bahu. Bahu. There's a long A here, see?
Okay. Bahu Sachancha Sipancha.
Mhm.
Vinayocha Susikito. Subhasita Chaya Wacha. Etang Maṅgala Muttamang.
Great.
Thank you.
Others? Anybody else?
Bhante, Boju here, I'll try.
Yeah, please.
Yes. Bahu Sachancha Sipancha Vinayocha Susikito Subhasita Cha Yawacha Etang Maṅgala Muttamang.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else? Anybody else who would like to read? try.
Vandami Bhante ji.
Yes, can you identify yourself?
Sujata More.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Bahu Sahat Chanat. Bahu Sahasa.
No. That's a different type of stanza. Bahu Sahasa is a different. We call them Jayamangalagar. Here, Bahu Satchanch.
Bahu Sachancha Sipancha. Vinuyo cha susikhito. Subhasita cha yavacha. Etang Maṅgala Muktamang.
Okay, yeah. Probably you may consider some of the H letters to a little bit more, but just fine. Yeah. Others? Anybody else?
Thank you.
It's our pronunciation time. So if you have any concern, you want to get checked. Sorry?
May I read?
Yeah, what's your name, please?
Rashmi.
Oh, Rashmi, go ahead.
Bahu Satchancha Simpancha Vinayocha Susikhito Subhasita cha Yavacha Ekam Maṅgala Muktamam.
Yeah, well, good. Others?
Bhante, may I?
Yeah. What's your name? Identify yourself.
Kavita.
Okay, go ahead.
Bahu Satchancha Sipancha Vinyocha Susikhito Subhasita Chayavacha Yetang Maṅgala Muttamam.
Yeah, great. No concerns. But in the future, we getting into difficult text, huh? Not like this. This is a very famous chanting, but still there are, some people trying to, struggle, probably they have not read properly like each letter. It's good to learn. Anybody else? Others? If you do not have anybody, so from this point onwards, what we're gonna do is we're going to go to the explanation part. All right. Bahu Satchancha Sipancha Vinayocha Susikhito Subhasita cha Yavacha Etang Maṅgala Muktamam. All right. So how many Maṅgala, highest Maṅgalas, supreme Maṅgalas can we see here? Anybody? Bahu Satchancha is 1, right?
Four, Bhante. Four,
Yeah.
is it? For blessing?
Yes. Sipancha is another one. Now 2. Vinayocha Susikhito is the 3rd one. Then Subhasita Chayavacha means the 4th one. So that means there are 4 highest Maṅgalas, supreme Maṅgalas. All right, let's look at the meaning. Bahu Satchancha. Right? Bahu Satchancha. What is Bahu? Bahu.
Many, much.
Many. Are there any other meaning about Bahu?
Broad.
Huh? Yeah, you could say broad. What about your hand? This is a Bahu, huh? Bahu. Bahu has another meaning too. So,
Plenty also, abundant.
Yeah, actually, it is kind of a grammatical development because normally the word is bahu. Bahu means many. Now here we understand bahu satchancha. Bahu satcha means broad knowledge, right? Not even that, as you can see here, bahu satchancha. Satcha means knowledge, probably learning, right? So at the time of the Buddha, there was another term that we know for this kind of person who has a vast knowledge is Bahussutta. What is Bahussutta? Sutta means heard. Heard. Bahu means a lot. Someone who has heard a lot. Bahussutta. So in that sense, who is the person who had learned a lot, who had heard a lot about the canon, Buddhist canon, Pali canon, Tipitaka? It was none other than Ananda, Bhante Ananda. Bhante Ananda is the one who memorized a lot of things. That's why they ran into a problem. Once the Buddha passed away, they ran into a big problem, right? What was it? What was the problem that the monks ran into once the Buddha passed away? There were some monks who were trying to go a little against the Buddha's teachings. So they decided that we would do a Buddhist council, Sanghayana, right? But they could not do the Sanghayana without Bhante Ananda. What is the problem? Was Bhante Ananda dead? What was the problem with him?
He
Not
was
at Arahant stage.
He was not he was not enlightened monk at that point. So anybody who is supposed to come to the Sanghayana should be someone who has Arahant status, right? So there was a big problem. Other monks do not know what Buddha said. He was the one who was around him. So they asked, especially Arahant Mahakashyapa asked from him, Bhante Ananda, can you please try to attain Nibbana before the council? Otherwise, we are not able to do this council. That means Arahants, not all these Arahants could memorize, because it's a knowledge. So in that sense, the highest Bahussutta, I would say, the person who knows a lot, who read a lot, who heard a lot, was Bhante Ananda. On the flip side, there is another thing that tells us from Bhante Ananda. What is it? Just because you know Dhamma with lots of books, you will never attain Nibbana unless you practice it.
Yeah.
Right? This is for everybody who is trying to learn a lot. That means while you're learning, similarly, at the same time, you need to practice. Right? Otherwise, it's going to be just a knowledge. That's what happened to Bhante Ananda. Although he knows everything, but he did not rationalize. He did not put them into practice, at least to a certain extent. Anyways, so Bahu Satcha means it's a blessing. It's a highest blessing. Now, how do we understand this in our normal life? Let's say you are with your family, friends, but you see someone in your circle that you can learn a lot. Do you like that kind of person? You go to a party, you go to a house, everybody talk about party stuff, drinking and their whereabouts. But there's one guy, whatever he says, person, maybe a female, open the mouth, something really interesting that we can learn something from that person. Everybody is trying to, consult that person. Okay, let's consult him or her, right? Others are just, they are just talking about daily stuff. But there's one person, right? Maybe a couple people, someone whom you can trust about knowledge. At least we can learn something out of that person, right? Similarly, what happened to the Buddha, right? Remember that there were 30 royal, individuals who went on a trip. One person could not have a girlfriend, so then he escorted the courtesan, an escort. What happened? She robbed everybody's jewelries. They were really mad about it. They were looking around, but she left the place. And then they saw a monk, probably a pandit, somebody who we can learn something about this robbery. And they approached, he was the Buddha. They don't know who is that. Said, dear monk, did you see a woman left this area with some jewelries? She's a thief. And he said, Buddha asked a question. It's a funny question. It's not funny. What is more important? Is it worrying about yourself? Is it taking care of your life, or taking care of, or just worrying about other people's life in the first place? Then they said, yes, this was partly about us, but it is good to always look for our small issues, problems, to get better. Then they consulted this monk. He was the Buddha. In the same way in our life, if we are with someone who has a wealth of knowledge, I think it's a blessing, right? But sometimes this can be a problem too, right? When you are with a lot of educated people, you can't be normal in your life, right? They talk about the knowledge too much, right? So there's a flip side too. So I think that well-read person or highly knowledgeable person has to understand how to give that knowledge, share that knowledge with others. But anyways, if you are surrounded with people who know a lot, at least as a knowledge, I think that is a blessing. Partly you learning, at the same time, you are not wasting your time. Bahu Satchancha. Now, Satcha does not mean the truth here. Probably this is another word for knowledge. Bahu Satchancha. Then Sippancha. What is Sippa? Sippa means craft. You could say handicraft, to be skillful in a craft. What is craft? Can you think about a situation or an event where Prince Siddhartha had to show his craft? Sippa, S-I-P-P-A. When he chose Yashodhara, Princess Yashodhara, did the king Supabuddha simply give his daughter to Prince Siddhartha? He did not, right? He said, all right, you chose her, you chose my daughter, but you have to show your talents. Sippas, not your education. Education is knowledge. Actually, this is about education and craft. I would say life skills probably. On one side, knowledge, subject knowledge. This side is your, what do you call, talents in the sense of craft. And then Prince Siddhartha had to show his talents. What talents he was said to have done it? To show his talents? Archery. There were different things he had to show so that they understood that Prince Siddhartha is a talented person. Even he has Sippa, not even the knowledge, not even the Satcha. So when we search for different, what you call Sippas, we can find 10 Sippas that we know from a Sutta in the Udana Pali, I think. Elephant craft, I think probably you could do some of, you could show, if you know elephant craft, you could know how to handle an elephant, maybe how to do well in a war by using the elephant. Horse craft, the similar thing, how to maneuver a horse at the time of a war, maybe a fight, commotion at that time. Archery is very famous, how to shoot an arrow toward a particular goal, exactly. Swordsmanship, what you could do with swords. I mean, these are actually given according to that time. Calculating, probably astronomy at that time, accounting, writing, literary composition, cosmology, geomancy. So these were the main craft at that time, at the time of the Buddha. So Buddha said, if someone knows this craft beyond their knowledge of a subject, that person is a blessing. Now, how do we understand this in our modern life? How do we understand the knowledge and the, what you call, craft, probably life skills, right? Right? Probably there are different skills that we are supposed to, master, right? Probably somebody can comment on this. What about cooking? Is it a skill? It could be a skill. It is a skill. Not
Yeah.
everybody can cook well. And swimming, it is a skill. Cooking, swimming. What are the other skills? Yeah, you can unmute and then answer. What are the other very important skills in our life other than the knowledge?
Drawing,
Drawing, painting.
sewing.
Communicating.
Communication is a big skill. Very big. I
Mm.
think it is one of the very important skills. This is the difference between Pacceka Buddha and Samma Sambuddha, right? So Pacceka Buddha also attained the same enlightenment, but his communication part does not work like the Samma Sambuddha. Communication, speaking. Not everybody can explain well. They can explain, but other people don't understand. There's no clarity, coherence. So communication, yeah, it's a good point. What are the other life skills?
Teaching.
Did you say teaching?
Yes.
Yes, teaching, definitely. Yes. Not all the teachers are good teachers to many of the people, right? Yes. Yeah, somebody else said something. What are the other life skills that you really think they are really, really important for us to spend a life without any hassle, right?
Bhante, about problem solving? You can
Critical thinking, problem
yeah,
solving, critical thinking. So you can't solve a problem without critically thinking about particular thing. That's a very good skill too. Actually, before you communicate well, you should have critical thinking and problem solving skill. Then you are able to do it with your mouth, with your right speech. Another
Observing.
skill. Pardon me? Corina?
Wood carving.
Did you say?
Wood carving.
Wood carving. All right. Yes, yes. That's also a skill. Anybody else?
Bhante, regarding the critical thinking,
Yes.
does that include analysis?
Yeah, analytical thinking. Yes, analytical. Sometimes I think we also need synthetical thinking too. Have you ever heard that? Now, in Abhidhamma, we know we analyze one by one. We just dissect everything. We dissect one by one. Then we don't know how to connect them again, assemble again. Like when we want to know, when we want to know a lot of Dhamma, we're going to dissect Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana, then Chakku, Sota, Gana, Jivha, Kaya, Mana, Rupa, Saddha, Gandha, Rasa, Pottabha, Dhamma, Chakku Dhatu, Sota Dhatu, Gana Dhatu, Jivha Dhatu, Kaya Dhatu, Mano Dhatu, so on and so forth. So we easily analyze. We just break them into different pieces. Now the biggest problem after that is synthesis. How do we then understand the whole analysis as a combination, as an integrated understanding? So we call synthetical aspect. So Abhidhamma is all about analysis, synthesis. Both have to be understood. All right, that's a good point too, analytical thinking. And somebody else said here, observation. Yeah, patience. Yeah, it's a very, I think it's the hardest skill that I think before everything, if you want to observe, if you want to critical thing, if you want to do anything, even if you want to cook, swim, drive, patience is the most important. I think probably we have come to the very important one, the root one. The Buddha says in one of the suttas that all the good kusalas come from one virtue. What is it? All the good dana, sila, bhavana, patti, pattanumodana, viyavacha, apachayana, transference of merits, sharing the merits, giving Dhamma talks, sharing Dhamma discussions, sammaditi, they all come from one very proto root virtue. What is it?
Metta.
Metta, no. Metta is an attitude. Patience, khanti.
Sila,
you
Sila,
do not
Bhante,
have
Sila.
Kanti, patience. No. Kanti. Even if you want to do Sila, you need to have patience. Otherwise, you can't sit down and sit even on the floor for some time, right? You feel, oh, I can't do it. So this patience is the root virtue, root kusala. This is what we learn in some of the suttas. So on top of the Kanti, you will do Sila, Bhavana, Samadhi, Vipassana, and everything. And we know that if someone is patient, he or she can do everything. Because they are not getting very panicked, right? They are not getting very excited, that much excited. They are really calm down. They know what to do. Actually, this is what we all expect people to do through meditation, right? Go to a retreat, calm down. But some people do not want to do that because they are already naturally calm down people, right? If you are a good cooker, you don't have to go to a cookery class, right? If you swim well, you don't have to go to learn swimming, right? Because you have it with you, right? So it's a skill. If you haven't built up it, go for it. If you already have it, you don't have to waste your time, right? Because we don't live that longer, right? In terms of the samsara. So there are many life skills, right? So what I understand here is that if you have a certain knowledge about a subject, always try to learn it fully, because little knowledge is always dangerous, right? Try to learn it fully. It could be humanities, social sciences, or whatever. And then coming on to the skills, try to learn a skill, master it all the time. Master it. Even the pronunciation, please master it. Every day, try to pronounce it, right? So then you will understand, oh, I have trained myself into this particular habit of skill. All right, so there are two, what you call Maṅgalas we have already talked about. Yeah, so as Rajiv says, courage, yeah, they all come from the patience. Courage is also very important because some people know Dhamma, but they don't have enough courage. Why is it? They are lazy. They have, but what do they have? They have tina and mid. They know, okay, yeah, I had to go to Dhamma discussion. I had to go to the temple. I had to learn. I had to do. No, I'm lazy today. It's raining over there. Pretty lazy. My mood is not good. Those are different types of maras that are trying to disturb you, So you have to go forth, Do not be deterred by these maras forces, enemies. Maras armies, we call them. All right. So we already learned two, Maṅgala factors. Bahu Satya is one. Having a great knowledge about something, maybe a broad knowledge. And I think when you say a broad knowledge, there are people who learn a lot of things, but they do not know even one thing fully. That is also a problem. Like we say, a jack of all trades. So we have to master even that knowledge. We have to update with that thing. Update with that knowledge. Let's say you know Dhamma, but you have to look for different other things that are coming up. Do I really know this thing or not? And then skills, craft, what you call life skills and all that. Third Maṅgala factor, what is it? Vinayocha susik, I said susik keto. Vinayocha susik keto. What does it mean? Vinayocha susik keto. Susik keto means well trained. Let's try to read that one. Su means well. Sikketo, what is it? Sikketo is a past participle in Pali, past participle. That means well trained, well trained. Sikha means, precepts. Well trained in where? Where you are well trained? In Vinaya.
Vinaya.
In Vinaya, you are well trained in Vinaya. Now, this has to be understood separately too. Vinaya has two parts, lay people side, and then the monk side, monastic side, right? So let's say you are well trained in the Vinaya that is belong to you. Let's say you are a layperson, you have your Vinaya as 5 precepts, not killing, not taking what's not given, not misbehaving, sexual pleasures, not lying, and not taking any food and beverages that can destroy your presence of mind so that you can't decide about you and other people. It is not only alcohol. I always say that Sura Mere, the fifth precept, is not only alcohol. Because we consume alcohol, why not? If you have a cough, you go see a doctor, the doctor gives us some alcoholic syrup. But that is under a medical prescription, right? But the problem here is that you really want to be intoxicated. I want to drink, I'm going to be intoxicated, and forget the problems. That is Sura. It could happen from food or beverages. Maybe you could eat couple plates of rice. Then you get into a drowsiness. So can't open my eyes. I ate too much, maybe too much dessert. That is also Sura, because you are trying to destroy your presence of mind. Whatever you take into you to destroy your presence of mind, they all come under Sura. Because that is the larger, broad idea. The precept does not exactly say. They might say, what you call different alcoholic drinks. But the larger, broader idea is never, ever let your presence of mind go away, be taken away by any food or beverage. All right, so now, susikkito, well-trained in where? In your own Vinay. When it comes to monks and nuns, they are Vinay. When it comes to lay people, your own 5 precepts. How do we understand this? Is Vinay very important to us? Discipline? Is discipline very?
Yes.
It is very important to us, right? Now, starting from cleaning a house, cleaning your room, keeping it clean and tidy, right? Even when you wake up in the morning, if you can set up your bed at that time, because that will sort of clear out any distractions. You see that your bed is very clean, well, properly managed, and whatever you do in a clear mind. So they all are motivations, inspirations for your mindfulness, sati. Otherwise, you are messing up your house, everything, and you go to the temple. Okay, give me right sati, give me Ramma sati. Will that be going to work for you? Not very easy, because your sati comes from your life, not from the temple. Temple is just a facilitator. So try to find this Dhamma in your life, in your personal life. Otherwise, you are not able to feel it. You will just do it as a nominal Buddhist, right? So well-trained nature primarily comes from your daily practice. And then it also goes to all the other things, even your thoughts. If you are well-trained, how do you organize your thoughts? You are not going to react very fast. You think twice, and then you are not going to comment on other people very fast. You are not judgment. Okay, I had to wait, I had to think about it before I'm talking. Not like just talking everything out, right? When you are well-trained, you organize everything well. You yourself becoming a better person, even in that Vinaya thing. So then Vinaya is not 5 precepts only. Some people think my Vinaya is, okay, I keep my 5 precepts very well. But I'm a very, what do you call? A busybody, talk about other people a lot. When you gossip, is it a part of your 5 precepts? It is not. Because you haven't understood that well-trained nature comes from all aspects. Organizing your thoughts, organizing your words, organizing your actions, right? Not being judgmental, trying to look for peace, not trying to look for the fight, always trying to create a very wholesome, holistic environment within you and outside of you. Even if there is a troublemaker comes over to you, you know how to handle that person. Not you get bombarded and you get taken away by that person's behavior. Some people say, I'm a very good person, I haven't done nothing, but see this person, right? When this person came over here, I also became angry. So this is his problem. This is her problem. Blaming other people. If you know how to organize, being well-trained, you will not find those as issues. So it will go to all the things in our life. A well-trained person is always organized in a holistic way, right? So that well-trained nature not only works for his or her physical, verbal actions, but also for his mental, her or his mental actions too, like mentality, attitude. Any questions about it? All right, you can ask questions later too. Now this is the second Maṅgala factor in here. Bahusachanch is one, that means vast knowledge, great knowledge. Sippancha means, I would say full knowledge. It's a full knowledge. Sippancha means knowledge about the life skills. In the time of the Buddha, they were like these 10. Elephant, horse, archery, all that. But in today's world, life skills. Vinayocha susikheto, that means a well-trained nature in your discipline. Your discipline is not just discipline. It is not only 5 precepts. It is a very well-trained discipline. And then the fourth one is subhasitacha yavacha. Now, how do we understand this? Subhasitacha. Vacha. What is vacha? Vacha. What does vacha mean? Speech. Then our speech has to be subhasita. What is subhasita? Well spoken. It has to be well spoken. Maybe you have words, but those words have to be well spoken, not just mere words. So Buddha identifies the well spoken speech has 4 elements. What are they? We always talk about them. Not lying, not what is that? Not slandering, not using hurtful words, not gossiping or idle chatting, right? So those are the ways how you can use your words in a well-spoken way. So that means when you lie, what is your speech going to be like? When you lie, your words are going to be ill-spoken. It is not a Maṅgala, right? When somebody swears at you, will that be a well-spoken word? Somebody comes over to you and then, he or she is going to into a mood or behavior where he or she cannot manage them. So then whatever the words that they're going to say in good way or bad way, they're going to be ill-spoken because there's always hurt happens. Maybe the words could be false. Maybe at the same time, it could be dividing us, not uniting us. And the whole incident could be a time of wasting, frivolous speech, gossiping, idle chat. That means whenever someone lies, that is not a Maṅgala blessing. That is a Avaṅgala. So what is the opposite of Maṅgala? We should talk about that too. Huh? Now, Maṅgala, 38 Maṅgala, good side. Then the opposite side of Maṅgala, how do we call them? Have you ever thought about it? If it is Maṅgala, yes, then Maṅgala, blessing. What about not Maṅgala? How do we call them? So we have to add Avaṅgala. That means a funeral. In Pali, we call it a funeral. But we take it from another sutta called Parabhava, downfalls. Parabhava Sutta. This is another sutta in the chanting book. Normally we say, if you are not able to fulfill or create these blessings, that means you are creating the opposite of Maṅgala. That means you are bringing a lot of destruction to your life, a lot of destructions. Every time you lie, every time you talk behind the back or slander or divide other people in your speech, every time you use hurtful words, every time you use frivolous talk, you are not using well-spoken words. You are ill-spoken. That's not a Maṅgala. All right. So that is going to be the fourth one. So every time your words, vacha means your speech words, the word has to be well-spoken. Well-spoken means those words have to be used for talking the truth. Talking the truth. then those words always help other people to be happy. I would say unite in the holistic way. At the same time, those speeches have to be always pleasant, charming, good to other people, right? You are not supposed to ever use any swear words to anybody. And then finally, those words have to be always useful, timely, important to other people. That is how we're gonna say subhasita, right? Subhasitacha yavacha. So etam mangala uttamam. Uttama means highest or supreme. This is a supreme blessing. Actually, there are 4 blessings, but stanza just says this is a supreme highest blessing. Any questions, now, folks? Here? Yeah, Suzanne, go ahead.
Supasita is well-spoken words. So if you were not giving nice words and you were given ill-spoken words, would it be asupasita with an A in front?
In that particular Pali word, we don't add we could say dubbasita. That is another prefix. Let me write that for you. Because it is not always A comes before. Let me write that. You can say, yeah, here. Yeah, dubbasita. Dubbasita. So, Suzanne, it is, you can't add A to all Pali words. Most of the Pali words, yes, you can.
Okay.
Right? You can. But for some Pali words, you have to learn that there are other prefixes coming before the particular Pali word. Now here, you can see bhasita, bhasita, see, but there's do. Do means it is the ill side of an.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
like
you.
for example, I can write another thing here. Now we can say labha. Labha means profit. But when you add do at the beginning, then we're gonna actually delete A, just put normal A. Dullabha. Now labha means easily receivable. That you can, it is very easy. I mean, it's prevalent, it's a very normal thing. But when you say dullabha, it's very rare. See, but you don't add here allabha because that particular Pali word goes with what do you call do, prefix do.
Okay.
So my understanding is it depends on remember that we discussed about the Pali alphabet. Normally, some letters, they always take do. Most of the letters, they take a. So some letters take V also, right?
Okay.
It depends. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I know now that it's not always A.
Not always. It's always. But most of the time. I can guarantee most of the time. But there are exceptions. Yes.
And we have to learn those ones.
Yeah, those are not big things.
Okay.
As we learn, then we will get to know
Yes,
that there
thank you.
are some exceptions.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, others? All right, looks like no questions at this point. Maybe you may ask later. We go to the next stanza. Right. Okay. Mata pitu upanthanang puttadarassa sangahu anakulacha kammanta etang mangala muttamang. Once again. Mata pitu upanthanang. See, mata pitu, then separately. Mata pitu upathanang puttadarassa sangahu anakula cha kammanta etang mangala muttamang. Okay, now let's ask group 1. Somebody you can read. Yeah, here stanza here, this part. Somebody from group 1?
Any,
Yeah, please identify your name and then just read.
any,
What's your name, please?
any.
Any, please. Any, go ahead.
Mata pitu upathanang Buddha darasa sanggaho anakula cekamanta etang manggala muttamang.
Great. You don't have to worry a lot, struggle a lot, because there are not
Yes.
many H sounds. So see,
Yes.
you have come to a safe zone now. But we'll see
Yes.
how others. Okay, group 2. Somebody from group 2. Yeah, group 2.
Yeah, Bhante, this is Indra. I will edit.
Yeah, please.
Mata pitu upathanang Putta darasa sangaho anakula cha kammanta etang Maṅgala muttamang.
Yeah, great. No concern at all. Somebody from group 3. Group 3.
Bhante, can I try?
Yes, please. What's your name?
Corina.
Okay, Corina.
Mata pitu upathanam uttarasa
There's a small issue. Can you try again? Putta.
Putta darasa sanggaho anakula cekamanta etam manggala muttamang.
Great.
Thank you.
Somebody from group 4. Group 4.
Bhante, can I try on here?
Mhm.
Mata pitu upattanang Buddha darasa sanggaho anakula cekamanta etang Maṅgala muttamang.
All right. Mata pitu upadhana.
Upathana.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Group 5. Someone from group 5.
Bhante, I try again.
Yeah. And your name?
Chan Suyang.
Mhm.
Okay. Mata pitu upatanam
Mhm.
Putta darasa sanggaho anakula cekamanta etam Maṅgala muttamang.
Great.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Someone from group 6.
May I try again, Bhante?
Are you pretty?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mata pitu upathanang
Mhm.
Putta darasa sanggaho anakula cha kammanta etang Maṅgala muttamang.
Great. Yeah. Someone from group 7. Group 7. Shirley, you want to try?
Bhante.
Okay.
Mata pitu upathanam Buddha darasa sanggaho anakula cakamanta etam Maṅgala muttamang.
Great. Okay. Group 8. Someone from group 8, the last one.
May I try?
Here. Okay.
Mata pitu upattanam Putta darasa sanggaho anakula cekamata etang Maṅgala muttamang.
Great. Okay. So anybody else who want to read this stanza? You can speak people before we explain.
Bhante, Guihua here can try now.
Yes.
Mata pitu upathanang Puttada rasa sanggaho anakula cha kamanta etang Maṅgala muttamang.
Great. Others? Anybody else?
Can I try, Bhante ji?
Yes.
Mata pitu upattanam uttadarasa sangaho anakula cha kammanta etang Maṅgala muktamang.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
So others who have not yet here recited, are you sure that you can do it on your own? Are you sure? If you are sure, then it's okay.
Bhante,
Okay.
yes.
Yes.
I'll try.
All right.
Mata pitu upattanam uttadarasa sangaho anakula chakamanta etam Maṅgala muttamang.
Yeah, great. No concerns at all.
Thank you.
Mhm. Others?
Bhante, I give you the try.
Your name?
Chipeng.
Okay, go ahead.
Mata pitu upatanang putta darasa sangaho anak kula ce kamanta etang Maṅgalang muttamang.
Yeah, great. All right, we will ask another one person, then we will go to the explanations. Anybody else who wants to read? Anybody else who wants to read? Okay, it seems not. So let's go to the explanation now. Now here, how many blessings can we find? Mata pitu upattanang is one, right? It's about supporting mother and father, parents. And then what's the other one? Puttada rasa sangha, is it 2 or 1? Is it? Is it 2 or 1?
One is child, another for
Huh?
one for children, one for wife.
How do we know it properly?
Two.
Child.
Are there 2 people or 1 person?
Two people.
Putta is child. So I don't know other words.
Darasa's wife.
Yeah, we take it as 1, right? Because it comes in one sentence. The idea, putta darasa sangahu, right? To take care of spouse and children. Then anakulacha kammanta.
One.
Is it 1 or 2? Okay, actually here the issue is that some texts they have taken this to be the second one to be 2. Some texts take the second one to be 1. So let's take what do you call second one. I would say Putadaras as 2. It's easy for us to understand, right? All right. And Anakulacha Kammanta is 1. All right. Mata Pitu Upattana. Mata means mother. Pitu, father. Then Upattana. What is Upattana? Upattana means
Support.
Actually, Upattana means that you are going to be near with those people. Now you may have heard Upasankamitva. Then Upattapeti, that means you are going near. That means when you support your mom and dad, because this is from the ancient times, you are going to be with them, right? So taking care of your mother and father in the best possible way. Actually, I have taken from Sigalovada Sutta DN 31 here. What are the responsibilities that every child has to do for his or her parents? See, there are 5. What are they? I have to support them. Every child has to support his or her parents. These are actual responsibilities that every child has to do, which was given by the Buddha. And do their duty, help do their duties. and keep their family tradition and make myself worthy of my inheritance, like you are the person, child. Furthermore, when the parents die, children should, I would say must, give good karmas by transferring merits towards their parents. So these are the 5 responsibilities that every child has to do. Now, what do we mean by supporting them? Anybody can have an idea about that? The first responsibility by a child towards their parent.
Food and shelter.
Yeah, it could be food and shelter, right? Now, this is different from places to places, right? In some places, in some countries really have some what do you call, how do you call them? Social security for the seniors, right? So their parents are mostly, I would say, sustained well, but not the emotional part that much. But food and shelter is mostly manageable to them, but not in many places, right? So if you are the child, whether the government gives them or not, you are responsible to take care of them in the best possible way. But what is the problem actually? When there are many children in a family, many daughters, many sons, then mostly they may have some issues coming up. Why do I do more? Why can't others share the cost, right? These are the issues that are actually faced by many people in today's society. So although we know that if everybody contributes, yes, it is easy for everybody, but not everybody does that. They might say that we don't have a job, right? So and so forth. But as the child, you should find a better way. You should not stop just because others are trying to, look at those ways. But you are supposed to take care of them as much as you can. That is the blessing actually. So when you do that, it is a blessing. Because some people very much worried when about their father, mother after they passed away. Now you can't do anything other than going to a temple or do something for them. So that happiness arises when you do something when you are with you. Maybe you are not very much rich at that time. This happens to many. You may be not rich when they were very sick. You may be rich later. But if you postpone helping them, supporting them till you get rich, they will be gone by that time. So your money will be nothing to them at that point. How many people talking about this with us actually in our spiritual activities and say, Bhante, I'm so worried. I could not set up an air conditioner for my mom. Now we can afford everything, but at that time, no. So I'm very much worried about. She even could not stay one night comfortably that way. And the father, see, that's why. So when you are able, when they are with you, try to do the best that you could do. So when things then fall apart one day, so you are not worried about it then. I did the best I could do.
No regrets.
No regrets, no regrets, especially for mother and father, because they come after us. Every time you wake up in the morning, oh, I did not do that. It comes to you. So it's really bothering to you all the time. So that is why the Buddha said, the first thing is that food and shelter, and then giving them a comfortable life. I know there are some issues between children and parents. It is not a secret. But you should be able to do your part, rather just complaining, but those people's parents talk about. And the second responsibility a child has to do their duties. You know, as they age, they cannot walk, they cannot pay their bills, right? What else? What they can't do? They may not be able to cook by themselves. They may not be able to go somewhere. They may not be able to drive. So you're going to think about mobility issues, right? So you're thinking about, okay, my mom can't do that. My father cannot do that. I should do something for them, right? That extra kindness always, that extra thinking has to always come. You will always be happy, even when you are not with them anymore. One day, you did your best. Second responsibility, as given by the Buddha in the Sigalovada Sutta, DN 31. Third one, I shall keep the family tradition. What does it mean? oh, my father comes from a very reputable family background, so I have to keep that thing going. Is it this family one? Lineage? No. This Kulavansa, we have a word for that, Kulavansa. This means that let's say your father, mother have been doing something really great, doing a dana to a temple, helping or an orphanage, and maybe doing something. You are continuing that great work after they pass away. You don't let it pass away once they pass away. You are continuing that legacy. It's not that reputation, like just the birds, just to brag of that I come from this family, that family. It's how you keep the mother's, father's good things carrying forward after they pass away. It's a responsibility. Now, what do many children face is a tragedy. Their mother, father have done a lot of things for business, but once the business was passed down to them at a certain point, then they are not able to continue it because they don't know how to continue it. Maybe they are not capable of doing that. Just because they want to do, they can't do because they don't have the skill. It may be a business, it may be a good thing. They should find better ways to continue. That is how to keep the family tradition over here. Fourth one, I shall make myself worthy of my inheritance. Do many people inherit things from their mother, father, them folks? Do many people in this world, they inherit something from their mother and father? Real estates, money, but some people, they inherit them. So when they inherit something from their mother and father, they should manage those inheritance really well, right? In a proper way, because they were hard-earned stuff by their parents. They should not simply be wasted, right? Last one is here. Furthermore, I shall offer alms or dana in honor of my departed relatives. Will your neighbor be going to go to a temple and do dana for your mother and father? No, it's you. It's you have to do dana. Every time, even you can't go to the temple, even you light a lamp, light a candle, you think about, may this light always work as a merit to the lives of my mother, father. Right? You're gonna give good merits to them wherever you go, whatever you do. If it is a good karma, definitely you're going to share. It's actually a lot of parents, they expect that when we pass away, at least there is someone who is going to do that for us, right? Because we have a belief that our karmas are not enough, even we do a lot. Others also need to do karmas for us, good karmas for us, right? We have a belief, right? Kind of a subconscious belief. All right, so these are what we understand by the first Maṅgala. So you're going to create this blessing, huh? Mata, Pitu, Upattana, supporting, taking care of my mother, father. It's a blessing. You have to create it. Does it happen automatically? Does it happen automatically? Are my parents be taken care automatically, naturally? No, I have to do some effort. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Second, Putta Darasa Sangaho. Sangaho. What is Sangaho? Who are Sangaho? Sangaho. Does Sangaho mean Sangha?
Community.
Huh?
Community.
Sangaho is not community there. Why? There is no H. Take a look again. Community or Sangha comes when there's H. Is there H here? Sangha. Sangha has H. Sangha. Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. But here, no H. That means it is not community, no monks. What does it mean?
Collection, Bhante. Collection.
Sangaho here means
cherish.
Hospitality. Or hospitality. Or I would say caring. So I would take it as hospitality. Or, like whatever you do to somebody from you. So you have your hospitality assistance or hospitality, maybe hospitality as an assistance to Putta Daras. Who are they? Children your own children, biological children, and your spouse, your husband or wife. Because it was a very, what do you call, man-based society at that time. It was given as a man-based society. That means man has to take care of children and wife. Now see, there are 4 hospitality stuff in Buddhism. See, I actually put out here. They are not given here. They are given in another sutta. Dana is one of the hospitality. Then courteous speech. When you talk good words to somebody, it's a hospitable thing, right? Because you have an option to talk bad things, right? So you're always trying to talk good words, good speech, and then being helpful, and then being impartial. We call it attacharya and samanatata. Actually, the most important hospitable things that you could do to someone is giving something, talking nicely or charmingly or pleasantly, and then looking for their, or thinking about their well-being. You are always thinking about their, okay, are you safe? Are you okay? Were you able to successfully do that? Thinking about their well-being, third one. And then most importantly, finally, impartiality. You are not going to be biased. If you are biased, then you are not hospitable too. You are going to be very reasonable. You are going to be very, I would say, impartial. So this hospitality in a bigger context has to be given to your children and your spouse, right? That is interesting too. And Buddha talked about 7 types of spouses. Huh? Have you ever found that? Is it okay if I erase this part here? Is it okay? Okay. Otherwise, I can't write anything. All right. The Buddha talks about, this is in the Anguttara Nikaya, AN 7.59. This is Sutta. Actually, what happens is that Anathapindika's, I think, daughter-in-law, her name is, I remember, her name should be Sujata, I guess, probably. Buddha heard Sujata was talking very loud to her servants or to somebody. Then the Buddha asked her to come and see him. And then the Buddha said, there are 7 spouses. Interesting. So you have to understand that there are 7 spouses. So which one you want to choose to be from today? Because I heard that you were really blaming or just criticizing people behind this place. Then we'll find out who they are, 7 spouses. All right. First one. First one is called Vadaka. Sorry, this is going to be Vadaka. Vadaka means destructive. This spouse is a destructive spouse. Maybe be a man or woman. Huh? That means trying to sleep around and then talk very bad, very destructive. Can't actually spend a very good life with that person. Destructive spouse, the Buddha said. Vadaka. Second is Chora. Chora means thievish. Always try to steal the stuff of the, what do you call, other spouse. The Buddha says, thievish, Chora. The third one is Sami. Sami is what you call bossy one, very bossy. Always try to control. Vadaka, Chora, Sami. The Buddha said these are bad spouses. Are they interesting? Destructive, thievish, and bossy. That means this spouse could be a male or a female. Then the Buddha talks about good ones. There are 4 good ones. Just leave a space over here, the 4th one. Matu. Matu means mother. The spouse is like a mother. Now let's take, the wife is like a mother. We call it motherly. motherly, like a mother. Like how is a mother compassionate towards the son and daughter? That is the nature of that wife. Maybe you can take it as a, man too, right? And then Bhagini. Bhagini is sister. So she or he, like a sister. We call sisterly. Sisterly, yeah. The sixth one is Sakhi. Sakhi means like a friend. Like a friend. That spouse is like a friend. You always talk everything together, good communication, friend. The last one is like a dasa. It is little terrible, huh? Dasa is like a slave. Some spouses can be like this too, the Buddha says. The Buddha says these 4, 5, 6 could be good, but others could be dangerous, Anguttara Nikaya 7.5. So the reason why I shared with you these 7 spouses is because you have to understand how is a relationship between 2 spouses going to work. Because Vadaka, Chora, Sami, Dasa, they are not going to work really well because they are destructive, thievish, bossy, slave type of spouses. Only Matu, Bhagini, Sakhi can work on both. So when a person, a spouse is going to take care of his or her children, and also vice versa, the man or woman, right? That is a blessing. Now you can think about something very interesting here. If the Buddha says that a good family life is a blessing, then how do we understand impermanence here? Because people always talk about, lay life is not good. We can't practice Dhamma. We have to go become monks, nuns. Then why does Buddha talk about here? Good lay life. You have to take care of your spouse, take care of your children. What does that lead to? What does that kind of good life lead to? Happiness. Because if you don't have happiness, you are not able to practice even Dhamma. We can take the example of Vishaka. Like Vishaka was Sotapanna when she was 7 years old. And then after that, she married a man. But she's a Sotapanna. Right? She did not mix up the Sotapanna status with the marriage. Because the problem here is that some people think they want to be like some arahants at the time of the Buddha. They are special beings. You can't be them. Right? They just came to the temple, listened to a Dhamma talk, they attain Nibbana. Right? They are very special people. We cannot just simply make us similar to them. Right? So, we have to understand that properly. All right. So here then, Mata Pitu Pattanam, that is one blessing. Puttadara Sangaho, there are 2 blessings. And then Anakula Chakammanta. What does it mean? Anakula means unconflicting. You are doing a job or you are doing some work that is, they are not unconflicting. They are not unethical. Huh? You don't have to worry about that kind of work. Are there people who are always very scared of doing the job? They are very much scared of somebody's going to catch us. The police is actually police are trying to find us, right? So those jobs are conflicting jobs. They are not ethical jobs. So always try to do an ethical job. So then you have peace of mind. You are very comfortable, right? And all that. So this is the final blessing over here. So kammanta means work or actions, but they are unconflicting. Let's say this is a job actually. That job is unconflicting, ethical job. All right, etang Maṅgala muttam. So today we discuss in this stanza, we discuss about 2, 3, 4 blessings. And in this stanza, we talk about 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 blessings to discuss, right? All right. So this is what we discussed today. 8 blessings. And then we discuss these blessings in very different ways too, to understand the impact that poses on us. At the same time, we always say, we must create our blessings. Blessings do not naturally come to us. unless you go to a temple and get blessings, what you call chanting blessings. But these blessings are more powerful because you are making your life. Let's say you mess up your life, you go to the temple, get the chanting blessings. Your life will be only happy only during the time that you are listening to chanting. When you come back home, you are again going into that difficult life. So always try to create your blessings while you are receiving blessings from the chanting. Make sense? Make sense? All right. Any questions? We can take 1 or 2 questions if you have. Otherwise, we're going to transfer the message.
Yes, Bhante, any? Could you explain further on the good virtue of a wife, a good spouse, dasa, slave.
Dasa.
Dasa.
Slave.
So these two very hard.
Yeah, dasa, D long A. Actually, there are some spouses, especially from the side of, I think, female version. Because they are loving so much the man, or probably they're loving so much the woman, they could be like very submissive. Make sense? Very much submissive to the other person. But if the other person is going to misuse that, it is a problem. But they are submissive. Maybe one person is submissive in their relationship. Very much.
Understand.
Yes.
Bhante, will you hear? Bhante, the Bahu Satchanja, Bahu is Bahu.
Bahu.
Yeah,
Not
then
Bahu,
the first verse, Bahu Deva, Bahu Deva.
That is Bahu. That is right. Bahu is.
Is it the same Bahu?
Good question. Actually, it is the same. It is the same, but there has been a grammatical change where the long vowel was omitted there, right? But the same idea. So Bahu, because Bahu Deva, many devas. But here Bahu, such much knowledge. So I could say the incalculable amount refers to Bahu here, because the knowledge you can't calculate, right? When you have a knowledge, it is not countable. So we go to much knowledge, but that one is a number, Bahu Deva. So you can count if you know how many devas came on. So I think because of this phenomenon, what do you mean by numbers that can be counted and numbers that cannot be counted, right? Because of that, there has been a grammatical change at the place of Bahu and at the place of Bahu. The same idea, same word. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante.
But normally I would say the normal word is Bahu, because Bahu Sutta, Bahu Deva. Bahu is the normal word. But Bahu, it is a longer version of the Bahu. Yeah.
This Putta Darasa, supposing a wife wants to recite this, caring for husband. What's another word for husband? Putta, do we say Putta Darasa also?
Here,
change the word.
Here it means husband has to do for wife, because I said to you, this
wife
is
for husband.
That's a good question. A lot of people ask this question. I will answer that. Now, at that time, it was a man-based society. So Buddha is talking to these man-based society people that you should not disregard your family. Just because you are a man, you can do more than them at that time. But it's a wrong understanding that they had in Brahmin society. Buddha says, but now when we understand, we have to take it on the both sides. Spouse could, that's why I said spouse. Spouse could be a male, spouse could be a female. So, male spouse has to take care of his wife and then the children. Female spouse has to take care probably in a similar way, maybe in a different way, also her children, and her husband. It goes, differently. And I remember there was a very interesting incident happened, little funny and little terrible too. There was a monk who went to give a Dhamma talk in a house in Canada, a Sri Lankan house. He actually gave a Dhamma talk about the relationship between spouses, actually, husband and wife, quoting the Singalavada Sutta. In the Singalavada Sutta, the Buddha says that man should buy jewelries for wife. But it doesn't say that the woman should buy some appropriate jewelries for the man too, vice versa. But that is a modern thinking. So we have to understand it based on the time, right? Let's say maybe a newly, probably a couple who are going to marry soon, they might buy their rings separately. We can add that kind of a nature. But the problem was that the man in that house had not bought any jewelry for a wife for many decades. So he got really mad. So after the Dhamma talk, he made a scene in that house. I'm not going to buy any jewelries for you. That is my nature. So we had to be very careful, you know. The household is it's a very complicated place in some places. So that's why when you present Buddha's, these kind of ideas, we have to be always mindful that these were given for the Indian society based on the Indian time. So when you present to the new society, you have to be very careful. Are they really going to work? Because Buddha had what he call, he had this noble understanding that this will help the 6 BCE people, cultural people. But if he were to be with us now, he would have given separately, differently this teaching. Because it's not basically the context of the Dhamma, it is how the people in the society can, maintain their relationships. Yeah, so it's both ways. It's both ways. So we're gonna say it's both ways, but we have to be careful, depending on the place, society, and the relationships. All right. Any other questions?
Yes, Bhante. Just
yeah.
now you mentioned about the Jarasa being the wife, being submissive to the husband, one of the spouse, but can we actually relate that to attachment or dependency?
Can you repeat again, please?
Yeah, you mentioned about the submissive. The wife is submissive. Yes.
Dasa.
Dasa, yes. So, but then can we say that it's more towards attachment or dependency towards the husband?
Well, that is hard to say. I think each family maintain their bond differently. There may be a wife who might think, I really want my husband in this way. Maybe he's not walking away from me, so I'm going to give him everything. So probably she has good intentions, right? And it might have worked for her. So we don't know. So, but this is not normal, because in today's modern world, I think nobody wants to be a slave to the other person. But rather than saying a slave, I would say submissive husband, submissive wife. But when it comes from the husband side, it's going to be a little strange. But when it comes from the wife side, it may be like taken in a different way by these people. So, but being submissive, well, I think in a relationship, submissiveness counts, I guess, in a certain way. So not in a terrible way, because if both going to talk in the same way and then nobody is listening to each other, I think that might be a problem, that might not work out, right? Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
All right.
Bhante, the
Yes.
dana that under the Putta Darasa, the dana giving, is it the same like the dana we give to the Sangha?
Where is Dana?
Dana giving, the Sangha one.
No, where is Dana here?
No.
I think I deleted that part, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Putta Darasa giving to the spouse and
this Sangaho is not that Sangha. This Sangaho means hospitability, or I would say you are going to treat someone. Okay. So now here, if you are the man in the family, you are going to treat your children and your wife. If you are the wife, you're going to treat your children and your husband in the best hospitable ways within their relationship. So what is it? It has dana, sorry, it has dana, it has what you call good words, pleasant words. Actually, just because you give dana, that means you are sharing, you are giving gift, you are buying things for them appropriately. It might not, I would say, be complete. So you also have to talk to your spouse in a very pleasant way, right? In a very kind, pleasant way. And third is that you have to show, you have to do what you call concern about the well-being of your children, future, your spouse. And also you have to be always, I would say, be reasonable. Be reasonable when you are dealing with them, listening to them, knowing what they really want. You really want to maintain, right? That kind of. So dana in that sense means probably gifting or giving something to children and I would say wife, husband. But as you ask me, now let's forget about children and spouse. Now let's say you want to treat someone. These are the 4 things that you have to do for anybody in a society. If you don't have anything to give, then what you can do? You can talk nice words with that person, kind words, pleasant words. That is also a one of the very good ways of gifting, right? And maybe you can't do anything sometimes. There's a big problem going on, a trouble, maybe a gossip going on, but you're going to be impartial. You are not going to give any opinion, right? Now, many people talking about something, but you are going to be quiet because you know when you are quiet, solution will automatically come. You're not going to take side of anybody. It is also one of the highest ways of being hospitable. And you are always making sure everybody is safe. One of the best ways of treating others well. So there are 4. Dana, called Dana, Piyavajja means Piyavajja, then Attacharya, Samana. Dana means giving. This could be to monks or your beloved ones or others. Then Piyavajja means pleasant words, could be anybody. Then Attacharya means well-being, wishing well-being. That is metta, right? When you wish well-being of anybody, that is metta. And then 4th one, Samanatata, you are going to be impartial so that many problems going to be solved. Does it make sense all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay. Shall we then wrap this up at this point? Any other questions? Take one more question.
Bhante. I want
Okay,
to
Christine.
if a person want to be a monk or a nun and leave his wife and children behind and leave his mother and father behind, is that considered blessing?
Well, it is a very contextual question. So I would say depending on the context. So the first thing is that I do not encourage anybody to do that because family might need him or her in the first place, because we can't be Siddharthas, another Siddhartha, because Siddhartha had a very noble journey. Like I would say, if you make sure your wife is good, your husband is good, maybe you go for a temporary ordination, novitiate thing, you have to always make a plan for them. Maybe you are waiting your children to get more settled. Yes. So I think in order to go to that kind of a decision, you have to always make sure everything is settled, and then to do it, because otherwise you are going to create some issues in the family. Make sense?
Hello. Thank you.
Yeah. Preeti, can we take the questions later, because now it's being over our time, hour and a half. We're going to do transfer on some merits. So please send me your questions on WhatsApp. Now we're going to transfer the merits and then wrap this up. All right. Thank you, everybody. So may all the good karmas that we've been accumulating today be transferred to all the departed relatives, passed away in the name of all of us. If the departed relatives passed away in the name of all of us were reborn in a place of pain, may they be able to be released from that place, and may they be able to reborn in better places. If they are already in a place of comfort, happiness, may they be able to improve that and finally attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, Sadhu, sadhu. Idam me nyati nang hotu. Sukita huntu nyatayo. Idam me nyati nang hotu. Sukita huntu nyatayo. Idam me nyati nang hotu. Sukita huntu nyatayo. May all the good karmas be shared by all the devas, nagas, and mahitikas. May they protect all of you, your family members, everybody in your family, and other people joining here, everybody in this whole universe. May Deva Naga Mahindika also be well and happy. May they protect and bless all of you for good health, quality of life, safety, protection, and everything. May Deva Naga Mahindika also finally attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Akasattha cha bhummattha devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu lokasasanam. Akasattha cha bhummattha devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanam. Akasattha cha bhummattha devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkang tumang paranti chirang rakkang tutmang sadati. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhiya. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhiya. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe sattva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhiya. Also, let's make a wish. May we be in the company of the Kalyana Mitras, noble friends, and not with the company, not in the company with Papa Mitras, bad friends, till we attain the Nibbana. Thinking thus, we're going to make a wish. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana patya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been doing, collecting so far, be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana Siris Nichang Vaddha Pachayino Chattaru Dhamma Vaddanti Ayuvannu Sukhang Balang Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Mevache Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminati Saminjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And the next week's, next Friday's online Pali reading class will be done from a different location. I will be going to Melaka. So I'll be in a different temple for giving a talk. Maybe for those of you who might be around, you probably can come to a Dhamma talk on Saturday. It's a temple name called Shakyamuni. Shakyamuni Buddhist Vihara. It looks like a new temple. Yeah, but I'm in Melaka by next Thursday. All right, so have a very good, yes, have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Thank you, Bhante.
And if you have any questions that I couldn't take today, please send me a WhatsApp message. I will be definitely helping you with those answers. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Good evening.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Good night, Bhante.
Thank you,
Night.
Good
Bhante.
night,
Bhante. Good night.
Thank you,
Sadhu,
Bhante.
sadhu,
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Take care, everybody. Bye.
Sadhu, Bhante. Thank you. Take care.
Yes.
Thank you, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bhante, I have a WhatsApp you. You have a look at it.
Yes, I will take a look, Corina. Yes, thank you.
Right. Thank you. Good night. Take care.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Have a safe journey next week.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
No, I already